Welcome back to the Iconist, the most established news platform for the Icon Republic. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. And if you enjoy the content, why not share it with your friends? It really does help. Hi, I'm Nathan, founder of G3 Partners, a Seoul, Korea-based marketing agency that works with a lot of blockchain companies, and we're also the publisher of the Iconist. Today, we have an exciting opportunity to speak with Min Kim, the founder of Icon. We'll talk about his views on Icon today and discuss his vision for the future of the Icon Republic. We'll also discuss the upcoming Icon 2.0 upgrade, which is due for full release in the next couple of months. So be sure to stay for the whole video so you don't miss any of this important and interesting information. Without more ado, we'll jump straight into the interview. So today we're very excited to have an opportunity to sit down and speak with Min Kim, the founder of Icon. We'll talk about his views on Icon today and discuss his future, his vision, for the future of Icon. We'll also discuss upcoming version 2 of Icon and also talk about some of Min's proudest moments as founder of Icon and also in the blockchain space. So be sure to stay for the whole video so you don't miss out on any of this important and interesting information. So Min, thanks very much indeed for joining us today.
Great. Thanks for having me here. Good to see you.
Great, yeah. And it's also great to have rebooted the Iconist. Somewhat similar. Yeah, somewhat similar to the crypto markets. We had a bit of a downtime, but we're now fully back in action, and I'm sure part of that is thanks to you. So thank you very much.
No, glad you guys were able to reboot. I think the community is excited to have you. I'm excited to be here. So yeah, this is great, and I think you guys are doing an amazing job, Joe, for the project, and just happy that we are talking again.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, great. So I think we'll just dive straight into the questions and topics for today. I think that most people watching the video know who you are and know who Icon is. If they don't, they can always go to the Iconist and find out.
Yep.
So what are you most excited about that's coming up in the next few months for Icon and the Icon Republic?
Sure. I think we've made this very clear. The very first thing is the Icon 2.0 migration. We've been working on this for a while now, over half a year, and we're now about 81% complete, but we're almost there to the finish line. Of course, a lot more has to be done to synchronize with the other P-reps, because Icon, we don't control the network. We need to work with other public representatives to do the full migration and restart the network. So once that happens, I believe we will have a very strong performance boost. But not only that, it will be very exciting for more developers to come in and build, using the latest technology that we'll be able to provide. Mm-hmm. The second is the ICE blockchain.
Yeah.
As you all know, the EVM compatibility has been one of the biggest wants and requests from the developer community, and we will finally be able to offer that. Yeah. And third is the BTP, blockchain transmission protocol, our interoperability technology.
Yeah.
And we will be able to showcase the technology between the Icon blockchain and ICE blockchain, obviously, and this will be a very good way to use BTP. But not only that, as you and our community know, we've been building BTP together through a working group with other blockchain protocols such as Near and Polkadot and so forth. So all of that combined has been quite exciting. Mm-hmm. And there's obviously a lot more happening on the Icon network. We have different applications. We have new members. We have new community members, and you guys are back. So a lot of exciting things happening just all around. But if I just had to speak from a technology perspective, those were the ones that I want to say that I'm very excited about.
Sure. I wonder if we could talk just maybe a little bit about ICE and BTP. I've been doing a bit of research myself, and do correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that this really is a move towards making Icon and dApp services developed on Icon more interoperable, more relevant for other blockchains beyond the Icon space. And ICE is an Ethereum virtual machine that has been developed by Icon. And the intention here, if I understand it correctly, is that this will enable developers to create blockchain solutions within the Icon environment, but in a way that is compatible with Ethereum. And then BTP is the connectivity piece that then connects those products or services to the main Ethereum blockchain. Does that capture essentially what you're doing in a nutshell? Or, I mean, do feel free to provide some additional detail or correct anything that I got wrong there.
No, I mean, I believe that's a good summary. EVM compatibility is requested because, as you know, Solidity is a popular language in the blockchain space due to Ethereum. A lot of the other blockchains, such as Binance Smart Chain or Tron, a lot of these are basically EVM compatible blockchains. There are forks. Mm-hmm. So us being able to provide a competing similar platform that works very seamlessly with the Icon blockchain, we think provides a very, very strong value proposition for developers. And developers, look for a simple way to be able to use different existing codes to be able to bring in or port over to our new network. So we've been talking with a lot of the, applications or dApps in the Ethereum or other EVM compatible chains, where they will be able to bring those dApps very, very easily to the Icon ecosystem. So,
right.
I think we'll be able to offer that. So I think that's exciting, but at the same time, we still are catering our technology towards, enterprise developers. So Java is the most popular language in the software development space, and we are able to offer JVM, where basically we're able to give choices to developers to build either or whichever language that they're more comfortable with.
Okay, and I guess on the enterprise side, there have been some pretty exciting announcements here in Korea from Icon Loop. Most recently, a partnership with one of Korea's biggest banks, NH Bank. So good right. To see Icon getting involved in the enterprise space.
Right, and as you know, Icon Loop has been our premier partner from day one.
Yeah.
The team there has been phenomenal in, working with some of the largest enterprise and government partners and trying to implement the Icon technology. And of course, it's not easy to work with enterprises, but every year, every month, they're continually, getting closer and closer to being able to connect, these enterprise blockchain with the public blockchain. And, it's been very cool to see some minor transactions happening on the Icon blockchain that these enterprise applications are connected to. So hopefully we'll see more of that as we move along in the future. It's just not, enterprise is still just not ready for full public blockchain use.
Right.
But
right.
Icon Loop is doing a very good job in helping enterprises overcome that hurdle and being able to get them more and more comfortable using a public blockchain.
So moving on to a new topic. NFTs have been the talk of the town since earlier this year. I saw that you tweeted out a somewhat cryptic message about a recent investment. Are you able to share any details, behind that tweet? I'll leave that to you. And also more broadly, what are Icon's plans? What are your plans within the NFT space at the moment?
Right. So, I mean, I wouldn't really call it a cryptic message, but just a heads
Didn't
up
include a
that,
name at least, right?
right, that yes, I believe that NFTs are one of the most exciting use cases of the blockchain technology, and it's here to stay. It's permanent. There's going to be a lot of experiments around NFTs for the next few years, and we'll see how that all develops. It's going to be very fun. I'll be very honest. My knowledge and my knowledge and expertise in NFTs are just not at par with probably where we need to be. We've been more focused on a lot of the other areas, such as the core blockchain technology, and to fill that gap, we need to make investments into certain teams,
right,
certain projects, in order for us to push ourselves, to that level where we want to be at.
Makes a lot of makes a lot of sense, and it's honestly good to hear that you, as the founder of Icon, also feel that you have gaps in knowledge. I certainly do. I had an interview the other day, and I wasn't prepped on the NFT question, and I was a little lost. So it's good to hear that. I mean, that it demonstrates that there's so much happening that even people deeply involved in the space, are
right,
finding it difficult keeping up with everything. Yeah.
Right, and it's going to be very interesting. I mean, I'm learning a lot these days through my own personal research, and by talking with other experts. But I mean, that's the hard part. I mean, there are no experts in this space.
Right.
We're all learning together and experimenting together. I'm trying to pick my poison and see where I could disrupt, or areas where I will be more interested in pursuing. I've been purchasing little bits here and there, just to understand how the process works. So it's been very fun, and on top of that, I kind of challenged myself in trying to explain how NFTs work with to the people that are close to me, just to help them understand, and see like how they think about it, and see how is the way we're building products right now, does it really make sense? Is our understanding of this is really making sense? I mean, it's very difficult concept to grasp, but it's something that we'll see how everything moves forward.
Sure. And for a lot of people are interested in NFTs, even if not everybody knows what they are or how they work. But if people are interested in finding out more, where's the best place for people to go to find out what Icon is doing in that space? I mean, the Iconist is one place. We recently wrote, this last week we wrote about Wineable, which is tokenized wine. A consumable NFT, I guess you could say. But where can people go to find out more information?
So iconrepublic.com or .org is a good starting point. And obviously, like you said, the Iconist is a good place. Our community is a great place. Following our Twitter is a good place. Right now we have Craft Network, which is sort of the marketplace of a lot of the NFTs that are existing in the Icon network. So just going to Craft and just going into different pages and learning about like what kind of assets there are, I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that would be a good start.
Yeah, that's good for now. And for anyone who is interested in Icon, I think the Hello Icon World Twitter account is a must follow. It's very active and high quality. Yeah, and obviously Min yourself.
And things been improving because we recently hired a couple of new, new people they've been ramping up. They've been very good in producing more quality content around educating our community and keeping our community up to date. So things will only get better from here. So yeah, like you said, like be sure to follow our Twitter and get the latest updates.
Great. So moving on then, obviously, the things we've been talking about demonstrate that blockchain is a maturing technology. Cryptocurrency is a maturing, a financial asset class, I guess. People are beginning to take it seriously, even at government and enterprise level, which is fantastic to see. But it's still an early stage technology. With every new technology, there comes a tipping point, which you have to overcome in order to really begin to see mass adoption. And I feel that we're not quite there yet, but I was wondering what your perspectives are on that point, generally for blockchain, but also, if there's any kind of tipping points that you're also looking forward to or working towards, specifically from the perspective of Icon.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good question. It's a question that, I could put my best guess, but it's very, very difficult. I think what
difficult questions are the best.
Yeah, I mean, making predictions is fun, so I will make some of my predictions.
Yeah.
Every industry goes in cycles, I would think. Usually, when you have a new technology, everything is a terrible experience. You have very low quality but decent products that are gaining a bit of attention from geeks or people who are just hobbyists, and that attract very, very small amount of people. But that small amount of people form a community and spread the word out, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But especially with crypto, where there's so much regulatory hurdles in every region around the world, like in Korea and in the U.S., we hear about regulation all the time, and rightfully so, because cryptocurrency is what we believe to be the next financial infrastructure. So I believe that flipping out a legacy system, something as big as the financial system, is going to take some time.
Right.
And we're going to have to fight. And recently we've seen here in the U.S. where the infrastructure bill included a provision around cryptocurrency and defining brokers, and that has created a lot of heat between the crypto community and and the government, and that's been a topic that was very was discussed, and we believe unfortunately the battle was, I guess, lost, you could say, for the time being, but I think that's what motivates more people to work harder, to lobby harder, and bring more sense into, or spreading more education into Congress and government so that they understand what we're trying to accomplish. I believe it's exactly the same thing happening in Korea right now. There's a lot of pushbacks from the top. The financial regulators are getting more and more uncomfortable because of sheer volume that is generating. I'm sure the more legacy incumbents of the financial securities companies are unhappy with how quickly these cryptocurrency exchanges are making enormous amount of money. There's a lot of jealousy involved. So, it's going to be a push and pull kind of situation. Even I think you've known that in Korea now, these exchanges are sending out inquiries and requests to all the cryptocurrency projects and ask very, very detailed questions about, like, describe yourself, to how many tokens have you guys generated, who are your partners. So there's a lot of things happening in the background that is that's happening, and actually, in my opinion, that's going to drive a lot of users and investments out of Korea. So um, you know so I believe that there will be other opportunities in other nations where will take even more of a riskier stance. They will benefit from it. So it will be a push and pull from different nations and different people, and that's how change will slowly come into place.
Right.
And I still believe it's going to take even a decade for us to get to a point of mainstream adoption in cryptocurrency.
Right.
It's going to be a steady up and down, but I believe it will continue to move up, but it will be an up and down from here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting insight, and yeah, I mean, in Korea, it does seem for every bad piece of news, there's a good piece of news as well. So everyone talks about FUD all the time in the in the blockchain space, and there's always two sides to the argument. I mean, we published on the Iconist just recently that on the one hand, I think it's around 70% of Korean university students have already invested in cryptocurrency, which is a very high number of very young people, and
right.
some people obviously had a bad experience, lost some money, but it seems the vast majority didn't, and
Right.
if there's so much of a kind of youth movement behind one side of blockchain, it's a good thing. We also noted that two chairs of major financial regulators in the Korean government have been replaced, and we'll see whether that's a good or a bad thing. At the moment, we literally don't know. So
Right.
yeah,
I think that's, in my opinion, that's why a sector like NFT becomes like more and more important in being able to bridge the gap, because something like NFT opens up a creator community, basically being able to, for creators and publishers and different hard workers to monetize their content and their art or whatever that they like. And I believe that you know something like NFT is not about, although arguably at this point in time we see a bubble happening in the NFT space as well, where um, avatars or crypto punks, like a lot of these like digital assets are NFT assets are rising in crazy amount of value. So a lot of people are trying to flip them and make money from it. But that's, I think, that takes a lot of the spotlight. But the real core value proposition of NFTs is that we're allowing every digital asset or item to become um, limited in quantity, and being able to authenticate these items.
yeah,
So we're sort of going back to the days where you know we bought newspapers on the stands, where we bought CDs and cassette tapes, and these were sold out. If you
right,
wanted to buy them, you had to get it from a secondary market. You know, magazines that I used to get, Time magazines, all and other magazines every week. there were some magazines that I really enjoyed, so I saved them. Other ones I threw them away because they weren't valuable. I believe NFTs are quite the same.
Right.
I believe all these digital items will be an NFTs. Only a few of them will be valuable.
Right, of course.
And the rest will be lost. And but trying to understand that concept, I think, is very, very difficult. But at the same time, I do believe that there's going to be more exciting things that we weren't able to do with physical items that you will be able to do with digital items. And we're starting to see that where these avatars could be used, digital items could be used and through different games. We call that metaverse. So I think people are sort of imagining like a world where digital life will be an extremely, extremely big part of our, real world life. So, I'm trying to grasp where this kind of industry is going, and kind of going back in circle, like all these changes and all these parts of NFTs, I believe will set realities for the financial side of things, the DeFi side of things. We're going to bring in a lot of new users, who will begin to use crypto wallets, not because they want to make money, but because they want to be able to buy digital items. But they so happen to be able to also buy or invest in digital assets in the DeFi world. So
right.
I think NFT is a great way how things will, it will help bring everything
bring more people into the scene. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I mean, everyone in the world uses money, but not necessarily everyone in the world is interested in finance.
Right.
Money or crypto is just a way of doing the things that you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just a bit of a personal question, really, about iConsensus. This happened a few years ago now, back in 2019. And I guess it seems to have rolled out, really quite well. I've seen some news recently that people are actually quite surprised about how active the community really is in running the Icon Republic. It's not just a smokescreen, or it's something that really is working.
Right.
I wonder, from a founder perspective, I was thinking about it just yesterday from my perspective. Would I want to decentralize decision making at G3? And right now the answer is no. So I can imagine. I can imagine, for you as the founder, it's a very big decision, and I'm wondering, just from your personal perspective, how was that transition? Do you feel that you lost something? What are the benefits, do you think, for you and also for Icon?
Right. I think definitely transition from a more centralized way of doing things to a fully decentralized way of doing things right now is very challenging in a way that it's if you're the king at a monarchy and you get to do whatever you want, it's less frustrating, but at the same time, you get to, and then you get to do things a lot faster. So speed is a big portion, but sometimes delegating and giving decision-making abilities to other people who are able to do a better job is very, very important when you're building out a organization or a team. And just very similarly, that's what decentralization is about, is you're delegating a lot of the responsibility and decision-making ability to other representatives who, have different interests and different expertise than you have. So, I truly believe that, I'm sure there is that, there's always that, the saying, there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Right.
Too many, too much power distributed to too many people might actually be inefficient. So that part I am quite worried about. But at the same time, I think that's what we believe DPoS or delegated proof of stake allows us to do, is that although our system and decision making is decentralized, but a lot of the decision making could happen by some of these smaller number of experts that could make good decisions for the network.
Right.
So I think I agree with you. I mean, the most important part about Icon right now, and the part that I'm very, very proud of, is that we've been able to build a very, very strong core community. Our core community gets stronger and stronger. I know that we've lost some loyal community members that unfortunately didn't work out. So people leave, but we've been able to attract amazing community members recently as well. So but the good part is that the core community members have been growing. And
we've seen that. We've seen that as well in our interactions with P-reps, the public representatives, the voting P-reps. We've seen it on social media. It's pretty encouraging and exciting to see that, and also to speak to some of these people who are extremely passionate about what they do, and also beyond passion, also very good at what they do. I think having both is important.
So I believe things are improving. So there's always room to improve our current governance system. Icon 2.0 is going to improve that once we update our some of the areas that we lack in. Like for example, the bond requirements that for the P-reps is going to be good, where and then there's other areas where we will we make improvements. So, and also like the CPS is a big part of a way to decentralize even further, giving a community fund essentially in the hands of the community to be able to make decisions on where to allocate capital to build the infrastructure or build applications where areas that they feel is needed in the Icon network or the Icon Republic. These kind of key decision making, could be happening with collectively is very, very powerful. So my goal is to continue to take a step back further and further, allowing more members, core community members, to come in and take a bigger part of decision making and development. When we started out in 2017, as you know, Icon Loop was the only technology software developer for the Icon network. Now we have half a dozen other teams that are building the core infrastructure of Icon and being able to open source this. So we have a lot more people who can contribute to building the Icon network. And that's very, very important, because you don't have dependency on one person or one team to keep the network alive. We have many options and many experts who can do the job and keep the Icon project sustaining.
And obviously, beyond just having more developers, you have more developers in different geographies with different backgrounds, different industry experience, etc. So
It's only going to get bigger. We're already looking at. We've been interviewing more developers, outside of Korea, like in Vietnam, here in the U.S., and also I believe in Europe. So we've been looking into hiring more developers around the world who are passionate about building cool technology being at the forefront of this blockchain movement. I think things have been great and things have been extremely exciting for us.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, as expected, we have overrun. That's not a problem. I'm open to even splitting this into two segments that we launch over 2 days. We'll see, but it's been fantastic catching up with you after a very long time. Getting your insights on where Icon is. For people that do want references to anything that we've talked about in this video, we'll put some links and information down below in the description, including the website and Twitter handles, etc. Is there anything, Min, that you'd like to just quickly say before we wrap up the video?
No, nothing in particular. I think I want to thank the Icon community for being very patient and having faith in the project. I believe Icon is one of the best projects out there. It was 3 years ago, it still is today. One important part is that there's nothing gimmicky about this project. This project is very genuine.
Yeah.
We're trying to build something very special, something that governments and enterprises and regular developers could build, create something very interesting, very cheap. And one of the biggest topic is interoperability, and we want to facilitate the ability for anybody to be able to participate not just in the Icon network, but in any networks and be reaching out to any users out there, regardless of what wallets you might have or which, where you live or what. Basically, interoperability is going to be very important. So, and we're going to be able to offer that. So we believe we have the most superior technology in terms of interoperability at this time. People have been commenting at our architecture and our technology, the design. Of course, we have to get it up and running, but in theory, we have an amazing technology that is about to come out. So, I think we're all excited to see how it works out.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, we're here to stay for a while, a very long time, and I think everyone gets maybe a little bit too excited when something out there trends, and but I think that's just the way the world is. But at Icon, we've been growing. Everything has been going up. Transactions have been going up. Users have been going up. More applications are coming. We have more partners. We're making more investments. So everything has been extremely positive. So we're just growing at our own pace with our own core community. So I think we've been. I'm very proud of that, and I think every member of our community should be very proud to be a part of this journey with us.
Yeah, and we also know from speaking with people that are deeply involved in the project on the developer side that there really is a lot going on in the background. Often right. you don't get a full picture of what's happening in the background, and for people who are buying cryptos and hoping to get rich quick, all they look at is a chart.
Right.
And often, well, not often, I think in every case, it's really what's going on in the background. Is there a strong company behind the price on that chart? And I think in the case of Icon, we're seeing that, and we're hoping to demonstrate that through the Iconist as well.
Right. It's good that you mentioned. I mean, everything starts with maybe one company, but I think the goal of every project should be, a project should be supported by multiple teams. More teams that there are, the better it is. And I think Icon is one of those special projects where we're gaining traction with more and more developers joining the network and building and using our technology. So, yeah, of course, there's bigger networks like Ethereum out there with a lot more developers, but Icon, I think we've been doing a phenomenal job of creating very high quality applications. We have very, very high quality users. So I think we're just a different community, and
Yep.
but we're a very exciting community.
Yep. Agreed. Great. And in terms of the launch date for version 2.0, I guess I'm not going to pin you down to a specific date, but second half of this year, I guess sometime around the end of Q3, beginning of Q4-ish. Does that sound about right?
I mean, it's very difficult to pinpoint. Yeah, and I think, my wife has always told me that I'm the worst at predicting time that I'll be home. Or, well, yeah. So, it's very difficult. I would say, like I said, we're over 80% in actual migration.
Yeah.
And if everything goes smoothly, I think end of August is a decent timeline. But
Okay.
Things don't always go smooth,
Right.
as smoothly. And also, like I said, I think one of the next challenges is to coordinate with other P reps to reboot the system.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes. We're quarterbacking the process. We're talking with other P reps who are bringing in other P reps and helping each other get prepared for the final stage of the migration. So knock on wood, everything will go smoothly.
Okay, great. And we'll certainly be following it on the Iconist and again on the Icon Twitter as well.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks again, Min. And thanks everyone on YouTube, wherever you're watching this. Thanks for joining us. And until the next time, stay hyper connected.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.